What's going on, guys? Hope this video finds you doing well. What fucking day is it? It's Wednesday morning at the time of this recording. Who knows when it'll actually be up on the tube? But got some cards to show, recent pickups, and little story time. I wanted to share a little story with you guys. Since I've retired, I mentioned before I've been spending a lot of time at the pool hall, and there's this guy up there. I play a lot. He's better than me. I mean, he beats me 90% of the time. We play cheap $5, $10, $20 racks. But he was, I don't know, had some gamble in him this last time we played. And he was, wanting to play a couple $100. He wanted to play me a race to four for $200. And I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to play him even. He's just too good. I know I can't beat him. I'm not going to just hand my money to him. So we go back and forth for a little while. And finally he says, I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but it was basically where your nuts at. And he threw $200 up, said, race to four for $200. I'll give you 10-6. I said, my nuts are right here for 10-6. I'm going to do that. I got a shot. And when I probably should have gave you some context. We're playing one pocket, and in one pocket, it's the first guy to, in an even game, 8 balls wins the game. So he's got to make 10. I got to make 6. And if you know anything about one pocket, then you know the break is key. You're supposed to win every time you break. So we lag, and I get first break, which is cool because if it comes down to the case game, I'm going to have the last break. So it goes like it's supposed to. I break the first rack, I win. He breaks the second game, he wins. Third game, I break, I win. Keep in mind, he's giving me 2 balls here. And then the next one comes up, he breaks, he fucks up, and I just outmove him. I mean, it took about 45 minutes, but I broke his serve. I won his break, and that pissed him off, got him out of rhythm, and I go on to break and win the next game. So I'm like, hell yeah. I'm up $200. I'm thinking I'm going to come home and I'm going to look for some Urlacher cards, Urlacher autos. He's kind of the last bigger name that I'm looking for that I haven't found one that I've just fell in love with yet. But another part of my retirement, my wife's got me redoing the kitchen. So got a new fridge, got a new stove, tore out some cabinets, put some new in. She decided she wants to do this little thing above the stove where I got to build some cabinets and stuff. So I'm tearing out the old cabinets and I run into some fucking shit. It looks like maybe there was a leak or something. There might be a little mold up there. So long story long, I'm going to have to take that money probably and put it towards my kitchen and kind of put the Urlacher on hold. But anyway, it was great, guys. The guy he got pissed. So some guys get pissed like that when they lose, and he should. He's a better player, and he tried to accuse me of quitting winter on him, but I didn't. I mean, he got pissed when he lost, and he's like, he's all right. Let's play race 500, and I was like, nah, man, I ain't doing that. I'm not playing you even. You're better than me. I'm not just going to give you money. So we go back and forth, go back and forth. I said, look, I'll give you a chance to win your money back at the same game, and he wasn't having it. So I said, all right, well, give me 9-7, and you can have a chance to win your money back. And he wouldn't do that either. He just kept trying to throw more money down. I guess he's one of them guys where the bigger his bankroll, the bigger his balls are. So, but I wouldn't do it, and eventually he left pissed, and I had $200 in my pocket that I didn't have to start the day, which was nice. Wished it could have went towards an Urlacher auto, but that's the way the cookie fucking crumbles. So, what I got to show today is I've been with retirement. I guess I've been planning on doing some more videos this year than I normally do. So I'm going to do definitely an origins type video telling my stories on how I got started collecting, gambling, shooting pool, and eventually sharing my stories on YouTube. And another But I'm going to put some thought into that, guys, and I'm going to take my time with it. So over the span of this year, we might even go Netflix documentary style with visuals and everything. We'll see. But I also was watching Hitman 23's video, one of his videos, probably within the past few weeks. He showed a card like a baseball card of every Topps product from start to current day. And that got me thinking, well, I think I got a Bears Topps card from every single year. So I may make a video showing that. But while I was doing that, I got to realizing I don't have any 1963 Topps. And I do kind of want some because they won a championship that year. But I mean, I got plenty of players from that team. I got cards of them. But I want something from that year, the year that actually won the championship. That's kind of cool. But when I'm looking at 63 Topps, they're just like so many cards from the 60s. They're so effing bland, man. There's just, I didn't like the way they look. I couldn't get into it. And I will get some eventually one day, but I drifted off into doing some other shit, got my collection out. And another thing I'll get into with my origin story is when I started collecting as a prepubescent kid in the early 80s, you didn't have a lot of choices. There was base, and there was base. And then if you wanted to get real exotic, you can go looking for food cards or stuff like that. McDonald's in my area put out a lot of Bears stuff in the mid 80s. But so basically what I was doing in the 80s is you were doing as a kid, I'm not speaking like an adult back then, but as a kid, you were basically doing one of three things. You're building a set, you're getting as many copies of your favorite player or the rookie, whatever chase card was at the time, or you're going backwards. I mean, that was about it. Those are your three choices. So really the first Walter Payton card I ever got was a 1984 Topps. So my first chase card going backwards was the 1983 Walter Payton. And that led me into going after Topps runs. And if you're lucky, your player might have two or three cards in the set. Say he was, I don't know, on the team leaders or checklist, or he might have had a record breakers card. In the early 80s, they had in-action cards. And when I do my origin story, I'll have visuals for all this, but I'm just kind of doing this video half-ass off the cuff. But anyway, that started me as a kid going after, I mean, I'd have to have three copies. I'd have to, so let's just say the 84 Topps Walter Payton. I'd have to have one for my Walter Payton PC. I'd have to have one for my Bears PC, the team set. And I'd have to have one for the complete set. And that's kind of how I collected, other than going back and getting older cards of my favorite players. And guys, I still do that shit today. So I'm looking through some 63 Topps. I'm not getting real turned on. So I pull out some cards of some of my players, and I just start looking for some Topps base cards that I don't have of these players. So that's what we're going to do here. This batch is going to be Matt Forte heavy because he's just cheaper than everybody else. But there's some Lance Briggs I didn't have. And it kind of sucks because Lance Briggs didn't have a Topps rookie. Guys like him, Charles Tillman, he was in the, what was it? The 03 Chrome, he had a rookie. But I don't think he had another Topps card until 2007. So, but there are some players that, like with Matt Forte, I'll stop at 2015 because I can give two shits in a what about him in where'd he go? The Jets, in a Jets uniform. I just don't care. Oh, there's more Lance Briggs in here than I remember. But this is, my favorite place to go search dollar box cards, eBay. That's where I got most of the. Yeah, there's a lot more Land Sprigs here than I remember buying. But, I tend to forget because you order cards like this and it takes them a couple weeks to get here sometimes. So I had a whole bunch of them. I don't have a lot of 2014 tops either. I didn't. All right. And then, of course, you got to have some base with a little shine to it. 2001 Topps Chrome Marty Booker. Marty Booker. I thought these were numbered. Maybe. Nope, they're not. Anyway, peek at the back. And then I do kind of the same thing with the Chrome. I go after their Chrome run, and I could very easily just I got my checklist and my spreadsheets and all that, and I can go pick these all up in one big swoop if I wanted to, but where's the fun in that? I like just when I get my collection out, I pull them out, I look and see which ones I got, or I go to my spreadsheet and checklist, and I just do some more shopping. I don't like getting them all at one time. I like to spread things out. I like to make them last. So there's some base there, and here's some rando pickups. Some Trace Armstrong. I didn't have a lot of him, but I need to get more of him because he was productive. Not bad for a Florida Gator. This is going to be a long video, guys. Long video. But I like long videos. I like making them. I like watching them. Another Hester base. I guess I got that one in a little early and started top loading. And this is an accidental run across. But whenever they start to put big men in the product, yay, we need more offensive line. Where'd that go? We need more offensive linemen in products. Sometimes defensive linemen too. They don't get a lot of love either. But yeah, all about that base. No refractors. Wait a minute. What am I talking about? Of course I got refractors. I'm going to call this video Base and Shine because you can't start going after Top Chrome without going after the refractors. Yeah, that's the one that was numbered. That's what I thought. Can't really, I don't know if you can make that out. I can't make it out from back here. It's $9.99. But yeah, just so shiny and so pretty. I don't know. I would say if I was forced to choose, I'm more of a cardboard over shine collector overall, but I go on my refractor runs. Again, this will be Forte heavy. And the main three I go after is Forte, Hester, and Urlacher with the occasional, you'll see, like you saw some Marty Booker at the beginning, you'll see a few other players. I'm not going into the names of all these because you guys probably know them. A few more from that year. Forte. New phone, too. New camera. Don't know how this is going to turn out. Better than before, I hope. 2010. Of course, I got them in chronological order because I'm OCD like that. I go through my when I go through my boxes. I do that almost. I think I purposely let them. There's a purple. I purposely let them get out of order just so I can go back and reorder them. That one is numbered out of. Here you go. Nice. Oh no, not nice. That's 555. Some weird numbering there. It's from back in the day though. You got that kind of stuff. Some more Forte shine. But yeah, guys, I'll work on some. With being retired, I'm still kind of adjusting, getting the most use out of my time, trying not to spend it all shooting pool, but that's really where most of the time's going. That and doing some remodel stuff around the house that my wife's been asking me for a long time. Shiny Matt Forte. I really like Matt Forte. I remember when people started going crazy over Jordan Howard, and he did have that one good year. But I mean, I was saying right there, he's got some tough shoes to fill coming in behind Forte. But he did all right there for a minute. But Forte was just the all around back. he had some good seasons, some high points on some not so great teams, and on some pretty decent teams. They were in the playoffs there in 2010. But that leads me to, a couple more cards to show here, and then I want to answer a question. Ooh, excuse me. There's a blue from 2014. I don't remember if those were numbered. Yeah. Chicago fan Paul. No, Jason. No, it's Chicago. There's too many Chicago fans. Chicago fan Paul asked me, do I like Caleb Williams? There's a blue from 2015. And my response to questions like that are usually the same. I am a Bears fan. I'm going to poll, unless the guy is a murderer, a woman beater, or an overall piece of shit, I'm going to pull for whoever the Bears draft, sign, whatever. My days of Monday morning QB and armchair GM, and those days are gone. I played fantasy football for about 15, 20 years, and I was one of those guys, and one of my teams was always just Chicago Bears. I did it for shits and giggles every year. But big egos on athletes don't bother me. Not like it does some people. Shit like that just don't faze me. I don't care. I don't follow that stuff anymore because the coverage of sports, it changed so much when the sports reporters started getting bigger egos than the athletes. And when they stopped talking X's and O's and 99% of the coverage was off the field stuff, I just tuned out, man. I don't care about that crap no more. So what do I think about him is pretty much the general consensus. I think he looked good in college against inferior opponents. Against stiffer competition, there's some question marks. But I'm pulling for him, man. I hope he does good. I don't care about his ego. I don't care really, like I said, unless he's a murderer or a woman beater or something like that, do whatever. I'm going to pull for him because I'm a Bears fan. I'm going to pull for who they draft. And I'm rooting for him. I hope he does good. I don't know how it's going to work out. They won a lot of games they shouldn't have last year, but those are the most enjoyable seasons for me as a fan. I can remember in 2001. Now, granted, this was before I was married, so it was me and my boys every Sunday getting together for the games. But they had Jim Miller for a quarterback, Urlacher's second year. I believe they had Thomas Jones. No, who'd they have in 2001 at running back? I think they had Anthony Thomas. That might have been his rookie year. But anyway, they had Warwick Holdman. They had like they always do, a stout defense. Mike Brown making miracle plays every other week. They were winning games they shouldn't have won. And they got into the playoffs. And, of course, in the playoff game, they won the division. I think they got a bye, and then they run into Philadelphia. And Jim Miller gets hurt right away in the playoff game. And you knew right then and there it was over. But I think, who was it? Danny Warfield came in. But anyway, my point is that was one of the most enjoyable seasons to watch as a fan. I'll always remember that season. Yeah, I'll always remember 85. I'll always remember 06. I'll even remember, 2010 and 16 when they're in the playoffs. But when you win games you're not supposed to win. And I don't know, it's just like karma is on your side. That's just some of the most fun seasons in my experience. So that's kind of like last year's Bears season. It was kind of fun watching them win games they shouldn't win. But I am not a fan of the 18-game schedule. And I'm getting sidetracked here, guys, and we're going on 20 minutes. Holy shit. But to answer your question, the short term, do I like Craig? Why not? Why not give him a chance? What other choice do they got right now? You know what I mean? I used to say that about Jay Cutler too. Everybody's always get rid of him, and replace him with what? All right, we'll see how it goes. He gets better or he don't. They win or they don't. I don't live and die with the Bears like I used to, but still enjoy it. All right, guys, I'm going to try to end this now. It's 20 minutes and I'm still rambling. But stay tuned. Future videos. I'm going to do an Origins video. I might do a Topps video where I show a Bears card from every year that Topps has made football cards, with the exception of 63, unless I happen to get one in at the time. But all right, that's it, guys. That's what I got for you now. Enjoy your day. I'll see you next time.